Okay, last class we have studied quadratic equation, and we have already studied how to find this quadratic equation by two methods, middle term factorization and completing square. That was clear last class, I believe. So today we'll start with the same question and we'll trying the third method, that is called quadratic formula. So write the heading quadratic formula and write the same question that I gave you last day. So what I believe the question was x square plus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0, right? X square plus 5x plus 6 equals to 0. Okay, so let's start. Fine. Quadratic equation. Quadratic equation. So this was the question. This was the question. Now we'll solve it by quadratic equation. Sorry, quadratic formula. My mistake. It's quadratic formula. It's called quadratic formula. Quadratic formula. So here you know that A is called what? In this case we have started standard form, coefficient of x. So what is the coefficient of x here? 1. Okay, fine. What is B? 5. That is called the coefficient of x. And C is 6, and that is a constant term. So remember that last class also I told you that the best technique, the best method to solve any quadratic equation is quadratic formula. This is the best way to find your answer. And the simplest one, all are simplest, but the less time consuming is the middle term factorization. If you get middle term easily, then it's better to apply middle term. Otherwise, if you are not getting middle term, it's better to apply quadratic formula. So remember this properly, okay? Now while finding the middle term, quadratic formula, first of all you should know A, B and C. Here I have written A, B and C. If you don't want to write this, it's up to you. You can leave this one, directly you can start, fine. So this is your question. Now first of all, in this case we will find D. D is called the discriminant. D is called the discriminant, and the formula for discriminant is D is equal to B square minus 4AC. This is the formula. Okay, fine. D is equal to B square minus 4AC. This is called discriminant. So here we will substitute the value. What is B here? So we'll substitute B equals to 5 minus 4. What is A? 1, and C is 6. So we'll be having 25 minus, this will become 24. So we'll be having 1. That means D equals to 1. Is it clear to everyone? By observing the questions, we can easily understand that we will be having, definitely we will be having two zeros here because it's a quadratic equation. So we will be having two zeros. By finding D, we can easily understand that these two zeros will be same or will be different. Fine. So how to know this? So you will write note somewhere. Wherever you want, you will write note. So note first one. Ready? So if D greater than 0, if D is greater than 0, if D is greater than 0, remember that here you can see D is 1. So that is greater than 0 or not? So D is greater than 0, then it will have two different real roots. two different real roots. Whenever d is greater than 0, that means if you are getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, then you will be having two roots and both will be different. Yeah. Here, real roots means you have studied real number. Real number means the number which can be either rational number, irrational number, or together they can be termed as real number. For example, you may have 2 by 3, your answer can be 2 by 3, you may have root 3, you may have root 3 by 4, you can have all this answer, all this together they are known as real number. Okay, so these are called real roots. Is it clear? Sometime you may get rational number, sometime you may get irrational number, so together we say that is a real roots. Is it clear? Now second point, if d equals to 0, if you are having d equals to 0, that means after solving, if you are getting d equals to 0, so if d is 0, then it will have two equal real roots. Okay, so if you are having d equals to 0, if you are getting discriminant equals to 0, then it will have two equal real roots. That means both the answers will be same. Like if you are getting x is equal to 5, so another root also, another zeros also will be x is equal to 5. Is it clear? So first one is if d is greater than 0, it will have two different real root, or you can say two distinct real root. Both are same. Okay, instead of different you can write distinct. If d equals to 0, if d equals to, oh sorry, I forgot to write if in both the cases you will write if d equals to 0, then it will have two equal real roots, both will be same. Now third number, if d is less than 0, less than 0 means what? Less than 0, yes, negative number. So if you are having a negative number, that means if d is less than 0, then it will have no real roots, no real roots. That means question is wrong. So this way we can easily identify that we may have answer or not. Is it clear? Their roots will not exist. That means d less than 0, we won't be able to find their zeros. So here we are having d equals to 1. What does it mean? D equals to 1, what does it mean? D is greater than 0. If d is greater than 0, we will be having two distinct or different real roots. Okay, so let's find it. After finding d, therefore x is equal to, if you are having x, you will write x. If you are having x, you will write x. If you are having y, if you will write y. Whatever variables you are having, you will write according to that. So we are having x, I'll write x. Now this is the formula, minus b plus minus root over d by 2a. This is the formula. By using this formula, we can find the zeros of the polynomial. Is it clear? So first of all, you should find d. After finding d, you should know that they will have two different real roots, or they will have equal roots, or they will don't have any roots. If they don't have any roots, that means if d is less than 0, no need to find further. Leave it that way. Simply you will say that since d is less than 0, therefore it will have no real roots. That's all. That is the answer. Is it clear? But if you are having d equals to 0 or d greater than 0, then you have to find further. After finding d, then you have to write this one. Now x is minus b plus minus root over d by 2a. Now we'll write this. Minus, what is b here? So 5 plus minus, what is root d? Root 1. Now here 2, what is A? 1, so we'll write into 1. Okay. Now this can be written as minus plus minus minus 5 plus minus root 1 means 1 by 2 into 1 is 2. Is it clear? Now you can see here you are having plus minus, that means once you have to take it plus, next time you have to take minus. So or either, okay, so x is equal to minus 5 plus 1 by 2. Once I have taken plus, and next time I will take x is equal to minus 5 minus 1 by 2. Is it clear? Once I have taken plus, next time I have taken minus. Now this will be minus 4 by 2 equals to minus 2, and this will become minus 6 by 2 equals to minus 3. Any problem? Just see, x is equal to minus b plus minus root over d by 2a. So formula, according to the formula, we are having minus. B means 5, so we are substituting the value 5 plus minus, this is plus minus, root d means 1, so we have put 1. Now 2 into a means 1. After substituting this one, we got this. Now we are having plus minus, that means once it has to be plus, next time it has to be minus. So what we did, we took x is equal to, first we have taken as plus, you can take minus also, your choice. So I have taken plus, so minus 5, we have taken plus 1 by 2. Next time we have taken x is equal to minus 5 minus 1 by 2. Is it clear? Now after that, simple calculation. Is it clear? Okay, so these were the three methods. By applying these three methods, you can find the zeros of a quadratic equation or a polynomial. Is it clear? Okay. One question. You can write one question. Write this question. If alpha and betas are the zeros of, if alpha and beta are the zeros of, if alpha and beta are the zeros of, if alpha and beta are the zeros of ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0. You will not get this in your book. This is from my side. This is my side. This is from my side, and this question carry 4 marks. Okay, this type of question may come in your board exam, and if you don't practice this, then you will not understand how to solve this one. So question is, if alpha and beta are the zeros of, if alpha and beta are the zeros of ax square plus bx plus c, ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0, comma, then prove that, then prove that, then prove that, then prove that alpha plus beta, alpha plus beta equals to minus b by a, equals to minus b by a, alpha plus beta equals to minus b by a, and alpha beta equals to c by a. Is it clear? So we'll move to the question. This is very important question for 4 marks. So if alpha and beta are the zeros of ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0, then prove that alpha plus beta equals to minus b by a and alpha beta equals to c by a. We have to prove that alpha plus beta is minus b by a. Okay, is it clear? Okay, so how to solve this one? Ready? Okay, so here answer. Question is ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0. This is the question. So can I say that d is equal to b square minus 4ac. Yes or no? Just now we have studied this is the discriminant. So b is b only. B is b. So b square minus 4a. A means a and c means c. So we have written this way. Okay. Now we know that x is equal to minus b plus minus root over d by 2a. Correct? Now x is equal to minus b plus root d by 2a. Can we say this way? Correct or not? And another one, and can I say that x is equal to minus b minus root d by 2a? Is it clear to everyone? X is equal to minus b plus minus root d by 2a. So we know that there is a plus minus, so we can separate it. So I have written x is equal to minus b plus root over d by 2a, and x is equal to minus b minus root over d by 2a. So these are the two zeros. That's what we have studied. X is equal to, after applying this formula, x is equal to, we got minus 2 and minus 3. So x is minus 2 and x is minus 3. So these are the two zeros. Okay. Now can I say that alpha plus beta, so alpha plus beta equals to, what is alpha here? First one is, let us assume first one is alpha and second one is beta. So minus b plus root d by 2a plus, and b is minus b minus root d by 2a. Correct? Correct? Now we will take the LCM. So if we take the LCM, we will be having 2a. Now 2a, how much is 2a? So we will multiply the numerator by 1. 2a, 1 is 2a. So we will multiply by 1, we will be having minus b plus root d. Now there is a plus. Okay. There is a plus. There is a plus, that means this sign will not change. Okay. If there is a minus, then sign will change. Now 2a, how much is 2a? 1, so we will multiply by 1 here. So we will be having minus b minus root d. Any problem? Now you can see this is plus root d, this is minus root d, cancel. Now we are having minus 2b by 2a. Any problem? Now this 2 cancel, this 2 will be cancelled. Now we will be having minus b by a. So that is alpha plus beta is minus b by a. This way we got alpha plus beta. Is it clear? Now another one, alpha into beta. So alpha into beta, that means this into this. So we will be multiplying minus b plus root d by 2a into minus b minus root d by 2a. Okay? Okay. Now you can see, you can apply by your own also. Okay, it's up to you how you want to apply. Okay. Now what I can see, can I say that in, it's up to you how you want to solve. Okay, I can see that first one is minus b, here also it is minus b. That means first term is same. Correct? Now there is a plus, there is a minus. So there is a plus, there is a minus, and there is a root d and root d. That means second number is same. Only the problem is minus and plus. Correct? So can I say that this is minus b, this is minus b? Let us assume that they are a. Okay, they are a. Just assume a. Okay, and there is a plus d. And here here I'm not writing root over, okay, let it be root over. And this is minus b, so both are same, so can I say a? And there is a minus, so minus root d. Can I say this way? Is it clear to everyone? Let us suppose minus b as a. So I have taken this as a. So a plus root d. So a plus root d. Now this minus b is a, and there is a minus root d, so minus root d. So can I say that this is a plus b into a minus b? Or if you don't understand this, then what you can do, numerator you can multiply with numerator and denominator with denominator. That means minus b will be multiplied by both and then d will be multiplied by both. It's up to you how you want to solve. So I'm using this formula, a plus b into a minus b, that means a square minus b square, okay. So let it be minus b square minus root d square, and there in the denominator it will be 4a square. Any problem? Now this will become, numerator it will become b square minus, and this root over will become d by 4a square, correct? Now this one, b square is b square minus d, we can substitute b square minus 4ac, because d is b square minus 4ac, that we have written in the second line. So I'll write this one, d is equal to b square minus 4ac. Now I have put bracket here because there is a negative sign, and if you are having more than one number then sign will change, that's why I have put bracket. Now this will become 4a square. Now we will remove this bracket, so we will be having b square minus b square plus 4ac, and in the denominator you will be having 4a square. Now this done. Now this b square and this b square can be cancelled. Is it clear? Now I'm writing over here, okay, I'm saving little page, that means there is no space. So I'm writing this one as 4ac by 4a square, 4a square. Now you can see 4 and 4 will be cancelled, correct? And in the numerator 1a and in the denominator 1a will be cancelled, that means you will be having c by a. Understood? Okay. So that was alpha plus beta means minus b by a, and alpha into beta is c by a. Okay. Okay. Now come to page number 73, exercise 4.1. Question number 1. You have to identify, that means here it is said, check whether the following are quadratic equation. Are they quadratic equation or not? You have to solve it and then you have to check it. Okay, you have to solve and you have to check it. Quadratic equation means the highest power of a variable must be 2. If the highest power of a variable is 2, then we will say that that is a quadratic equation. It is not mentioned that in the question that it is in a standard form or not. They are asking that is it a quadratic equation or not. That means if you are having highest power of a variable as 2, then that will be a quadratic equation. Okay, it does not matter that it is in the standard form or not. Is it clear? Is it clear? So you have to solve this by your own. This one you have to solve it by your own. If you want, I can help you with 2 questions. If you want, I can help you with 2 questions. Which 2 questions shall I solve? So I will solve question number. I will solve question number 3 and question number 8. So kindly write question number 3. Question number 3, exercise 4.1, question number 1, number 3. X minus 2 into x plus 1. equals to x minus 1 into x minus 3, plus 3. While writing the questions, kindly check your question once again, because one simple mistake will make whole sum wrong. X minus 2 into x plus 1 equals to x minus 1 into x plus 3. Ready everyone? So we need to identify that they are quadratic equation or not. So how to identify? We will solve this. We'll remove this bracket. We'll try to break this bracket. So you already know that first number will be multiplied by both these two. Then second also will be multiplied by both. So I'll write x square plus x. Then this one will be multiplied minus 2x minus 2. Any problem? So same method we will apply, same technique will apply to the other side also, right hand side. So this will become x square plus 3x minus x minus 3. Any confusion? Okay, I told you a few days back that if you are having same number on the LHS and RHS with same sign, that can be cancelled. Did I told you? So this number can be cancelled. Now you can see that here you are having x, here also you are having x. But here it is plus, here it is minus. So you can't cancel this. But x square both were positive, both are on the other sides of the equal. So we can easily cancel this, okay. So after solving this, we will be having minus x minus 2 on the left hand side, and on the right hand side we will be having 2x minus 3. Any problem? Any problem? So this one x minus 2x, we got minus x, and this is minus 2, we put it minus 2. Now 3x minus x is 2x and minus 3. Now we have to solve it completely, okay. We will not leave this way only. Now we will move this side. We will move this number this side. So we will be having minus x minus 2x minus 2 plus 3 equals to 0, okay. Now this one will be having minus 3x plus 1 equals to 0. Now if you want, you can multiply by minus, it's up to you. We can multiply it by minus, we'll be having, if you multiply, because first number if you put minus it don't look good. So what we will do, we will multiply each and every term by minus. So we'll be having 3x minus 1 equals to 0. Is it clear? Now you can see what is the highest power of a variable. Highest power of a variable 1. Highest power of a variable is 1. You can see nothing is here, so 1. So highest power of a variable is 1. It does not mean that this is a quadratic, sorry, it is not a quadratic equation, okay. It's a linear equation. Understood? So we'll say that in the question it was said, check whether the following are quadratic equation or not. So we will write, therefore it is not a quadratic equation. Therefore it is not a quadratic equation. Therefore it is not a quadratic equation. Clear? Clear? Yes, we have to write this. Therefore it is not a quadratic equation. Now let's move to question number 8. We will write this one, and after that we will write, therefore it is not a quadratic equation. That's all. In the question they have asked that are they quadratic equation or not. So this is not a quadratic equation. Now question number 8, x cube minus 4x square minus x plus 1 equals to x minus 2 whole cube. Okay. So in this case, in this case you can see that there is no bracket on the left hand side, but on the right hand side there is a bracket. So we'll try to remove the bracket on the right hand side. So we'll keep left hand side same, x cube minus 4x square minus x plus 1 equals to, now you can see that this is a minus b whole cube. So a minus b whole cube formula is a cube minus b cube minus 3ab into a minus b. This is the formula. Okay, you have studied in class 9. So we'll apply this formula, a minus b whole cube, a cube minus b cube minus 3ab into a minus b. So here this is a, this is b, x is a and 2 is b. So we'll say a cube minus b cube minus 3 into a into b into a minus b. Any problem? Now we'll remove this bracket also. Okay, so x cube minus 4x square minus x plus 1 equals to x cube minus 8, and this one will become 6x. So we will multiply this 6x by this, we will be having minus 6x square, and this minus minus is plus, this was 6x, so 6 into 2 is 12x. Any problem? Now you can see that this is x cube, this is x cube, both are positive, we will cancel it. Now there is no other number which are same. So what we will do, we will transfer all this number this side. So we are having minus 4x square minus x plus 1, and this number will transfer it over here. So plus 8 minus, sorry, plus 6x square minus 12x equals to 0. Any problem? Now we will see the like terms. This is square, this is square. Now you can see that this is plus, bigger number is plus, so we will write 2x square. Now you can see this is x and this is x. Both are negative, so we will be having minus 13x. And here both this constant term are plus, so this will become plus 9 equals to 0. Any problem? Now you can see that this question cannot be solved further. So we'll say that highest power of the variable is what? 2. So we will say that the highest power here, it is, we can observe that highest power of a variable is 2. So we can directly write, therefore it is a quadratic equation. Okay, therefore it is a quadratic equation. So let's move to question number 2. In question number 1, rest of the question you will try it by your own, and just you have to check it that is a quadratic equation or not. If you are having highest power of a variable as 2, then it is a quadratic equation. It does not matter that they are in standard form or not. If you are getting highest power as 2, then that is a quadratic equation. Fine. So you will solve other questions by your own. Now let's move to question number 2. Question number 2 is, represent the following situation in the form of a quadratic equation. It means that you have to frame a quadratic equation only. You have to make a quadratic equation like we have made it in chapter 3, pair of linear equation in 2 variables. So we have made equations, right? So same way in this question they are telling you to find the, you have to frame, you have to make a quadratic equation. You don't need to solve anything, that's all. Okay, so the first question is, the area of a rectangular plot is 528 meters square. So area has been given. The length of the plot in meter is 1 more than twice its breadth. That means length is 1 more than twice its breadth. That means if the breadth is 10, I am giving an example, if breadth is 10, length will be double plus 1, because it is said that 1 more than twice its breadth. So if the breadth is 10, length will be double of that, that means 20 plus 1. So that will be 21. Is it clear? So let us suppose that let the breadth be let the breadth be let the breadth be let the breadth be x meter. Let the breadth be x meter, and the length be will be what? 2x plus 1. 2x plus 1 in bracket, and after that meter. 2x plus 1 in bracket, and after that meter. Is it clear? Okay, so this is the breadth, this is the length. Okay, I have done shortcut. So breadth is this, length is this. Now in the question it was said that area of a rectangular plot is 528. So can I say that area? So right, area of a rectangular plot. Area of a rectangular plot is 528. So we'll write area of a rectangular plot equals to 528 meters square. Any problem? No. Now area means what? Area of a rectangle means what? Length into breadth. Length into breadth. So this is length, this is breadth. So we will multiply. Okay. So this is 2x plus 1 into x equals to 528. Any problem? So I'm saving little page. Okay. I'm saving little page. I'll write it here, but you have to write it in the next line. Okay. So this one will be multiplied by both. So we can write 2x square plus x equals to 528. Now this 528 we will bring it here, then only it will be a quadratic equation in standard form. So we have to write it in standard form, then only we will try to solve it. So minus 528 equals to 0. Okay? Okay? Now if you want you can solve it by middle term factorization, your choice, because in the question they told you to frame a quadratic equation only. That means your answer is over here only, but we will find the length also. Okay. Okay, you can see in the question it is said that represent the following situation in the form of quadratic equation. You have to represent in quadratic equation only. So our answer is over. According to the question it is over here. But in the question it is said that we need to find the length and breadth of the plot. Now they are telling you to find the length and breadth. Once they are telling you to frame a equation, then they are telling you to find the length and breadth. So we have framed the equation, now we will find the length and breadth. Okay. Now we will try to solve it by middle term factorization. You can solve by any method, your choice. So how to find that? I told you already that whenever you need to find it by middle term factorization, first thing you have to remember that they have to be in standard form. Then first number and last number has to be multiplied, correct? So what I will do, I will not multiply these two number. Okay, I will not multiply these two number. If I multiply, I will get a bigger number. So basic concept, I know that this 2 will be multiplied by that. So what I will do, I'll take the, now try to understand, okay. I'll take the LCM of 528 only, 528. So if I take it by 2, and remember that while taking the prime factorization, you should take a prime number only. So 2 2s are 6s are and 4s are. Then 2s are 1, 3, 2. Then 2s are 6, 6. Then 2s are 3, 3. Then 3s are 11. Okay? This is the prime factorization of 528. But we are having 2 also, right? So that 2 if you multiply, I'll write. So what I was saying, that after taking the prime factorization of 528, we are getting this number. But we know that while taking the middle term factorization, first and the last number should be multiplied. So if I multiply this one, definitely whatever number we will get, that number will be divisible by 2 or not. Understood or not? So what we can do, we can take prime factorization of this number and this number separately and we can combine together. Understood? Understood? For example, if you are having a question like 16x square minus, just an example I am giving you, okay? Let it be plus 50x minus so we have taken the prime factorization of this and we know that this first number and the last number, when we multiply, after multiplying only we should take the prime factorization. So what I did, I have taken this last number prime factorization separately and this 2 is extra, so I have put it over here. Now what I will do, I'll try to use this number such a way that I should get 1. So what I will do, just see, 2 2s are 4, 4 2s are 8, 8 2s are 16, 16 2s are 32, correct? And this is 3 into 11, 33. So 32 and 33, if I subtract, I will get 1 or not? Yes or no? So what I will do, I'll take this one as 2x square plus, this is plus, so bigger number I'll take as plus, 33x minus 32x minus 528 equals to 0. Is it clear? Now I am moving further, okay? Have you written this? Okay, now just check. Now just follow my concept, okay? If you have taken the numbers in a proper way, okay, if you have not done any mistake, then my method if you use, it will become easy. Now just see what is common here. X. So we'll take x. Now we'll be having 2x plus 33. Correct? Correct? Now there is a minus. So minus. Now these two number, what they are having common? My God, that has to be taken, right? If you take that number, if you take this number as common, you have to take the prime factorization again, that what is common in these two. So remember that there is a simple way. If you have taken this middle number properly using all the numbers what you have got after prime factorization, if it is correct, if you are getting this term and after multiplying if you are getting the first and the last term, so what we can do, we can check what is common in the bracket, 2x. So 2 how much is 32? I'll take 16 and 16 as common. Without thinking, I will write 2x minus minus is plus 33 equals to 0. Understood? Now, if you multiply 110%, you will get this only. Just see, this into this minus 32x. Yes, minus plus is minus 16 into 33. You just multiply 16 and 33. This is 16, 3s are 48 and 48. So you will be having 8, 2, 5, 528. You are having 528 or not? So this is the simplest way to reduce your time. That means this way you can save your time in exam. Is it clear? So remember this, okay? If you remember this, then it will be good. Okay. Now we'll take the common here. So we'll be having 2x plus 33 and this will be x minus 16 equals to 0. Now we have already studied that LHS is always equal to RHS and both are in multiplication. It means that if this is 0, so 0 into this will become 0, that is equal to RHS, and if this is 0, so 0 into this will become 0. That means either this must be 0 or this must be 0. So we'll write either 2x plus 33 equals to 0 or another one is x minus 16 equals to 0. Any problem? No. Now this can be written as this can be written as, I am writing directly, I can write x is equal to minus 33 by 2. Okay? And this will become x is equal to 16. Fine? Now you are having two zeros, this and this, two zeros. Okay? You are having two zeros. Okay? Now, you can't have two values here, because if you take length, this one you will be having something different, and if you take this one you will be having two different. Suppose I am saying that I am having a length. Okay, I am telling you that I am having a rectangular length. So it has some length, it has some breadth. Can length and breadth can be, that means length can have two different value. Definitely if you measure you will be getting one value only. Same way breadth also you will be having same one value. This means out of these two any one must be correct. Now the question is which one is correct. So you can see the first value is x is equal to minus 33 by 2. X is the breadth, and remember that breadth cannot be negative. Okay, breadth cannot be negative. So after writing this one, we will write ignoring, right? Ignoring, write this word, ignoring x is equal to minus 33 by 2. Ignoring x is equal to minus 33 by 2, because breadth cannot be negative. You have to mention this way why you have eliminating this. Okay, so we have given a reason, ignoring x is equal to minus 33 by 2, because breadth cannot be negative. Is it clear? So therefore, next line, therefore breadth equals to, you have taken breadth as x, right? So we'll write therefore breadth equals to what is x? 16 meter. So we'll be having 16 meter. So write 16 meter. And next line, length equals to 2x plus 1 meter. 2x plus 1 meter. So 2 into 16 plus 1. So 32 plus 1, 33. So 33 meter. Is it clear to everyone? Okay, so that's all for today's class. Next day we'll continue with the other questions. Okay, so practice these things properly.